Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Thomas. I'm a social studies teacher from Mesa, and I currently serve as president of the Arizona Education Association. And I'm coming to you tonight to talk about a strike everything bill of Kelly Townsend's called House Bill 2032. Now, a strike everything bill, if you're unfamiliar with that term, is an odd thing that happens in very few states. Arizona is one of them. And it's where you take a bill that has already been passed out of committee and in this case out of one chamber, and then you take all of the language off of it. You strike everything, all of the language off of it, and you put brand new language, sometimes that's not been heard, sometimes it's not made it out of a chamber. And so you kind of leapfrog some of the process to get a particular idea talked about. So we have this strike everything bill where they took language off of it and they added in Kelly Townsend's anti-Red for Ed Retaliation Bill language. And the language is intentionally vague, but make no mistake about it. They are absolutely looking to silence your voice and prevent educators from standing up for their students like we did last year. So you don't have to believe me. You can listen to a legislator himself. I'm going to play about a minute of a video that was recorded at the legislature from a couple days ago with Representative Vince Leach out of Legislative District 11 explaining why he's voting for the bill. Now, LD 11 is kind of the town or the city of Maricopa, southwest of Phoenix, kind of down I-10 through Casa Grande and just past Marana to kind of the northwest part of Tucson. So if you live in that area, congratulations. The gentleman you're about to see and the rant he's about to go on represents you at the legislature. And he's going to tell you why your voice and your shirts need to be silenced. So let me see if I can switch this. All right, and let's play it.
Mr. Chairman, explain my vote. Yes. Mr. Chairman, when everybody wore red last year in the classroom, that was not a left or a right. That was political action. And that's what Representative Townsend, in my mind's eye, is trying to say, no. Knock it off, as Senator Ugenti Reed has said. That is political action. And if you had a 50-50 in your school, 50% R's and 50% D's, wearing red for ed and being in the classroom telling students that their mission that day was to understand the red for ed movement and how supposedly, the state wasn't doing their duty, but yet nothing was said about the school boards and nothing was said about raising local taxes. That was actually political action.
In the last.
All right, sorry about that. It froze at the end. I guess the logic was, the poor logic was too much even for the computer. But you could hear him explaining that this bill is not just, as Representative Townsend describes it, as just overt political speak in the classroom. This is about, and multiple members said, this is about those subtle hints that educators are throwing at their students, and they clearly are speaking about the idea of wearing a red shirt, a shirt that speaks and brings awareness to the plight of our students in schools. They absolutely are trying to shut you up. Now, instead of focusing on a teacher crisis, instead of looking at some of the real issues that are facing our schools, like class size reduction or reducing the student counselor ratio, or bringing in funding to where we can make certain that we have bus drivers and front office staff and security guards and all the people that we need to run schools correctly, these extreme legislators are focusing on policing teacher voices and a dress code. That is their pressing issue. And you heard it clearly from a very irate Senator Leach, who thinks that this is what you're doing all day long. You're teaching lessons around the Red for Ed movement. He's obviously not been in a classroom. He certainly doesn't understand the daunting task in front of you with all of the students that you serve in every capacity that educators serve them, with standards and district directives and state directives and federal directives. This is ridiculous. It is insulting, and it is absolutely retaliation for the principled stand you took last year. So what can you do about it? Well, there's two things. One, I want you to make everyone that you can tonight, and before you go into school tomorrow and after school, I want you to make all your colleagues, I want you to make all your family members aware that this attack is coming, and instead of focusing on what they should to build better schools for Arizona students, to send the resources that we need to be successful, they are attempting to shut teachers up. This literally is a shut up and teach bill. And I need you to sign on to the request to speak system for House Bill 2032 and sign in opposed. We need to send a very strong message that they have real issues and the voters elected them to bring funding to our schools. And they all said they were going to run and support educators and support our students in the classroom, and instead they're wasting time on these retaliation bills, these extreme bills that have no basis in logic. They can't even point to real stories. They need to be funding our schools and giving our students the opportunity to succeed. They need to be setting you up for success, because when you're successful, your students stand a much greater chance of being successful. So thank you. I'm sorry you had to watch that rant, but I wanted to make sure that you all saw it with your own eyes. We'll try to get a video out tomorrow to where you all can share it, one that's just not me holding my cell phone aimed at a laptop, but I'll try to cut a video and get that out soon. But sign in. House Bill 2032, the Strike Everything Amendment is garbage. We need real solutions to real issues, and we need the legislature to be taking us seriously, that we expect funding, resources, and support to do the job we were hired to do. So thank you all. Have a fantastic Friday. Move into a well-earned weekend. Hopefully that state testing is going as well as it can, and you're there supporting your students as they go through that. This is Joe. We'll talk to you later.